Okay, well, g'day you all. That's my Australian way. Do you know that's my Australian way
I do.
in America, in Kentucky, of saying hi to people?
Okay.
G'day you all.
Y'all.
Yeah, we
That's
don't
nice.
use you all in Australia, but we use g'day.
That's nice.
And they don't say g'day over here. So I thought what do you think?
Wish them together.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
nice.
Okay, so here we are. We're going to have a fun time today talking about the new VBS program for this year. We've had a
Right.
VBS program for a number of years now.
Yeah.
And
13 years.
13 years, and it's in the top 3 VBS programs
It
sold
is.
in the world. And the difference with Answers and Genesis VBS is that we have an emphasis on apologetics, biblical authority, the gospel. We have science experiments. I mean, it is incredible. It's not fluff and stuff.
No, we don't have a fluffy VBS. We have lots of fun with our VBS, but it's very meaty.
Meaty.
We get a lot of stuff in there.
It's
for
not
the,
vegetarian,
Right.
it's meaty.
We're not vegetarians here at Answers VBS.
So,
Although some of our snacks are vegetarian. So if you are a vegetarian,
oh, there you are.
we do include snacks for those.
Hey, wanted to tell you about, and I have with me today Stacia. And Stacia, your position is?
So I'm the project manager for the Answers VBS
For
program.
the Answers VBS program. We want to tell you about this year's VBS, the emphasis, and also some of the fun things you get. And from what I can find out in the research I've done, what we offer digitally, particularly with the VBS Digital Pro, is absolutely incredible. I don't think any other VBS program in the world does what we do there.
Right. Yeah, we have the upgraded package. So what you're looking at here is our Super Starter Kit, and you can add on the Digital Pro to that, and it gives you kind of an even more enhanced experience with your VBS program.
And I will say this, with the Digital Pro, if you're just a small church and you don't have a drama team and you don't have a praise team that can stay on key
Right.
or anything like that, you can actually use the material on the Digital Pro. It's all done for you. So
Right.
you could just show it on the screen and you've got your dramas right there, or you can have your drama team copy it or whatever.
Right.
But you can have the praise team, our team, singing, and we have traditional as well as contemporary.
Right. We have contemporary
So a little
music and
different-
we have traditional music.
different emphasis. But the most important part of VBS, the most important part, is the topic,
Right. Is what we're
the
teaching.
content. And I'm going to let Stacia describe what we're doing in this, but as a lead up to it, I wrote a book not that long ago based on one of the presentations I give called Gospel Reset. And it's really helping people understand that our culture has changed. Our culture used to be an Acts 2 type culture, and so you could just go out and tell people about Jesus and sin, and they sort of understood the terms, But I'm now saying our culture has become like an Acts 17 culture, like the Greeks. They believe in many gods, not just one God. I mean, years ago, when you went to the public schools and said God, people would think of the God of the Bible. You say God today, and which God? There are many gods. And so what this VBS is doing is reaching these children. And, when you think about it, I saw the latest statistics. Generation Z, which is sort of, the ones coming up after the millennials, and the younger ones, the teenagers, only 9% in America go to church.
Really sad.
Millennials, 18%. We have got to reach the
Yep.
younger generations. And this VBS deals with this situation to help them understand who the true God is, his attributes, how to distinguish the true God from the false God.
gods,
So,
right.
Stacia, take it from here.
Well, actually, that Acts passage that you talked about is our first Bible account that we talked to the kids about. So on day one, we're introducing the one true God to our children, and we're saying, you've heard all these different gods, but I'm going to tell you who the one true God, and he is great. And that's the emphasis that we have for that first day. And so we're really going to go through the attributes of God the rest of the time so that they can see what separates the God of the Bible from all the different gods that are.
And you see,
they might
that's
hear
what's
about.
so important, and that's something that we make sure that we do at Answers in Genesis, and the materials we provide, is we look at where the culture is at, what the culture is saying, the influences on these kids through the schools, through the TV, and we want to prepare them for that.
Yeah, actually, absolutely. And we're not shying away from, like we said, meaty topics. So the day 2 topic is God is Almighty, and we're introducing our kids to words like omnipotent, omniscient, omnipresent, so that they get that idea that God is all. He is all encompassing.
And when I've been to VBS programs that we have done, and of course we do a test program a year before for each of the VBS programs, little kids have fun learning big words like
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
They want to learn.
Yeah, and I know there's even a lot of adults out there that aren't familiar with those words. So to be able to put that into the hearts of our kids and give that to them at this age is just a blessing for us.
And I got a feeling today from even a lot of Sunday school curricula I've seen, there's sort of this emphasis on more entertainment, very shallow, and we find kids want to learn.
Right.
They want the meaty stuff,
Right.
and they love it, and they remember it. So we always have that emphasis through all of our curriculum, through our VBS program. So
Right.
this is a super starter kit, and what do we have here?
So we have lots of fun stuff. I see that you're not wearing a T-shirt today, Mr. Ham.
No.
So I'm going to give you a
Not a Mystery Island
hat
T-shirt.
to wear.
Oh, you're going to give me a hat?
I'm going to give you a hat to wear.
All right.
This is an
So-
extra that you can add on to our VBS.
Okay.
Look good. Looks
Does that
good.
look good?
Yeah,
I look good in
it's
it?
nice.
What do you think? Here we
It's
are.
nice for you.
Okay. All right, so I'll wear a hat.
And we have lots of different apparel. So I'm wearing the Everyone T-shirt. We also have this fun athletic T-shirt.
Oh, I really like
bright
that.
colors.
Let's
Yep.
just hold this up for people to see.
Okay.
Can you do that?
Yep.
Okay.
So this is our athletic T-shirt.
That is really cool. You know, if you'd offered me a T-shirt like that, I would have
Then
worn
you
it.
would have worn it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we'll see what we can do next time. And the back of my T-shirt, the Everyone T-shirt, if you can see it, has a verse on it. I will praise my God with my whole heart. So there's a verse on the back of that one. We also have fun bandanas. So these come in a variety of colors. So you can give them to your kids, and they're good for like team identity and stuff like that. And they also have everything that we do. We make sure there's teaching on it. So even these bandanas have, I will praise my God and King with
How do
my
you
whole
use a
heart.
bandana?
You want me to show you?
Yes, that's why I asked. That's why I asked the question. I want to see
All
it.
right, so you can use it in a variety of different ways. You can put it around your wrist, you can put it around your head or your neck, you can put it on your hair, you can put it on your arm. Lots of different things that you can do with the bandanas. I know I've got a whole stash of them from previous VBSs, and we put them on the kids when they go outside in winter, and helps keep them warm.
So what other things do we have here? It looks like a treasure chest.
There is a treasure chest. This is new for this year because we've got the treasure theme going on. So we have this treasure chest. I will enthusiastically praise my God and King. That is the theme verse for this year. Psalm 145:1. That's a paraphrase of it because it says, I will extol my God and King, but we want to make sure that the kids know what extol is. So we've gotten enthusiastically praise my God and King. We're waiting for you, Mr. Ham.
Yeah, you know what? I thought I turned my volume down on my computer.
And we also have,
And apparently it was still up. And I don't understand that. But, now it's disappeared. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, they can, or any comments you put there, I'm following you live. So there we are. Yes, kids want truth. That's
do,
right. They do.
absolutely.
They want truth. Okay, continue
and we're
on
here. So with the treasure
So
chest,
they're
we're
not
also
little chocolates
giving,
to eat?
No, these are not chocolates.
They
to
look
eat.
like those little
Please
chocolates
do not try and
at
eat
Christmas,
these.
you know, with the... No?
No.
Okay.
So they have the attribute of God on them, and there's one for each day, so you can give them to the kids at
Collector
the end of the
coins.
day. Yeah, and
Could
they
that-
can go in the treasure
Could they
box.
be worth millions of dollars in the future?
Probably not.
Okay,
But
all right.
that's not the point. The point is to get the truth of God into the hearts of our children, right? So there's
Somebody
one,
said,
there's
I'm going to
some place-
download the music from my computer even though my church doesn't do a VBS. And because actually, we have on our website, I think, all the songs from the past VBSs.
Right,
and
yep,
they're
people can
phenomenal
download them.
'cause
Yeah, they're really
a lot most of them have been specially put together for
Right.
our VBS,
Yep,
right?
yep,
So
all of our-
compose the words and
Right.
everything.
So they match the themes of each day so that it gives kids another way to emphasize. So we just want to make sure that we're reaching all types of children with all types of learning abilities. So we have music, we have games, we have different varieties of teaching, and we do have teaching for all different age groups. So we have a toddler age, a pre-primary age, a primary age, a junior age, and we also offer something for teens and adults. And in addition, we also have a special needs supplement. So if you have children with disabilities in your church, we want to make sure that we include all children in our VBSs. So we do also offer a special needs supplement.
I was trying to hide
Right.
my
you just
hand.
want to,
It didn't work.
Right.
And so if anyone wants to know what happened to my hand, it's because of sin.
It is.
It goes back to Genesis. Do we
Right.
explain that sort of thing? In
We do.
VBS?
Yep. We talk about on day 4 is our gospel day. So that attribute of God is Emmanuel. Jesus is with us. And so on that day, we go through what sin is, and we give a really comprehensive gospel plan. In our VBS, we also give the ability and times to present the gospel on the other days. So we just want to make sure that we're always getting the gospel to our kids and making sure that we present it each day because in VBS world, you might have a kid that comes one day, he's not here the next. So we just want to make sure that they get the gospel the whole week. But Thursday, or day 4, is our day that we concentrate on what the gospel is and make sure that we give a big picture view of what the gospel is.
And so every VBS we do has an evangelistic emphasis, but we do science experiments.
We have science experiments.
What
so
sort
we
of
have
science experiments do we have with this one?
We have a science and crafts guide. So these are some of the experiments that are in there. I'll find the pages. So there's rainbow water. So you put your primary colors in these, and then you put the paper towels in between, and the water walks and makes the different colors.
And by the way,
in
we
there.
teach people the true meaning of the rainbow.
Right.
After the
Absolutely.
flood.
Yes.
As a sign, God will never send such a global flood again.
Right.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. So different things like that, lots of fun reactions, acids and bases. This is a really fun one that the kids will like. There's like can crushing.
It must be
They'll enjoy
fairly
that.
unique, I imagine, for a VBS to do science experiments like this.
It really is, especially one that tells you, doesn't just give you little things to do with the kids, but actually explains the science. And we talk about how God is the author of science. So one of the things that we have are the laws of God cards. So we go through the different laws, scientific laws, and show how only
They
the
couldn't
God
have
of the
come
Bible,
about by
right,
random processes.
right,
They had to
only
be
the God
created.
of the Bible can explain these different laws. So we have the law of life, planetary motions, mathematics, gravity, and logic, just giving kids the idea of when you go into your science classroom at school, God is there. He's the reason that you're doing
Here's the
this
interesting
science.
thing. We're teaching kids here about the laws of nature
Right,
that don't change
right,
because they don't evolve,
right.
and they stay the same because God is the same yesterday
Because
and
God
today
is
and forever.
immutable, right.
I use that in debating Bill Nye. That was one of the points I brought up. And we're teaching it to these young
We're
kids.
giving it to the kids, getting it to
Absolutely.
them, yep, at the very beginning. So, so we have the science and crafts, we have snacks, we have games, and everything ties into the theme of the day. So they're getting the main teaching in the Bible lesson, but then when they go to the games, they're going to hear that same point again with whatever game they have. And when they go to snacks, they're going to hear that same point again, so that they're getting it all day long, and really reinforcing the points that we're trying to get to the kids.
So somebody said, give us a more practical, immediate answer to know to pray, what to pray for in regarding to your hand. Well, Stacia and I had an altercation before we did this.
This is not true.
It's not true. It's really nothing. It looks worse than what it is. It's just a little cut that I have there. Anyway.
So pray that the Lord would heal it completely.
So somebody said here, these are so well throughout, so colourful.
Yeah, we have lots of things for the kids. So we've got kind of like a squeeze ball, a beach ball.
okay.
Yep, that's probably
So
good
I
for
could-
your stress.
Yeah.
Yep,
I could
that
just
might
sit
be
at my
helpful
desk
for
and
you.
do that.
Yep,
When staff members stress me out, like when you walk into the room.
I'll just hand that to you.
Yeah,
And then you'll be a
okay,
lot less
all right,
stressed.
we got
Yep.
that.
Lots of fun notepads. And if you can see on the back of the notepads, like I said, we try and include teaching on everything that we do. So we've got names of God on the back of that. Our pencils have the names of, have the attributes of God. So there's a set of 5 pencils that have one of God's attributes on them. Our shark pencil. And then we also have these fun scratch art things that talk about the different animal pals. So we have animal pals that the kids get to. We have lots of postcards, thanks postcards, you're invited postcards, save the date postcards.
And we have all the dramas on video. We
Right.
have all the songs on video.
So
And-
our contemporary songs are produced by, in partnership with the Lads, which is a singing group in Kidman, type of stuff. And we also have memory verse songs, because one of the things that we have an emphasis on with Answers VBS is getting God's word into the hearts of our kids. So we want them to memorize scripture. And so we've produced a series of memory verse songs, and those are produced by Seeds Family Worship. Those are for the contemporary, and then we partner with Majesty Music and Patch the Pirate for our traditional ones. These contemporary ones are ESV, and then the traditional ones are KJV. So you can order 2 different super starter kits. You can order a contemporary one or a traditional one.
And we have 2 different Bible versions.
Right. So we have the ESV, and then we also offer KJV. So I don't think we have any of our, on our memory verse posters, it's ESV on one side, and then if you flip it over, it's KJV on the other side. So we offer that difference for people.
So we have more posters than this, of course.
Yes,
We have
there
about
are
70 posters.
lots of posters. We have lots of posters. So these are some of our teaching posters. This is the Acts account that you were talking about. So this is Paul preaching to the Greeks. We have Animal Pal posters. Those are up there. We have rotation sign posters like the deep sea science posters up
and
there.
are they all
and
this
memory verse
size?
Posters. Yes, they're all the 22 by 17.
22 by 17.
Posters. So.
Now, what is this down here where it says 25 cents will provide one meal to a child in need?
Right. So we partner with Children's Hunger Fund for our mission moment. And Children's Hunger Fund is a gospel-centered mission program. So they take food, they partner with local churches in a variety of countries to take food packs to hungry children. And they don't just give them the food, they give them the gospel when they take them there. And every 25 cents equals one meal for a hungry child. So you can start encouraging your kids to collect quarters. I know my boys, it's really exciting for them to think about how many meals they're providing with how many quarters they're putting in.
And you know,
in there.
I forget the actual statistic, but we've provided
Millions. Yes.
actually, literally, many millions of meals.
I think it's over 3 million meals.
Through
our VBS
these
program.
special offerings, through this mission moment
Right.
at our VBS programs.
Since we've started that program.
So
yeah.
somebody said here, my family with our church has been involved with ALG VBS for 10 years. I'm not kidding when I say that the highlight of the year is when we get the skit script in our hands as soon as it's released. It's so fun to start putting faces of characters in our church to do the parts. We love ALG VBS.
So that's in our assembly guide. There are skits in there. A lot of churches like to do it live, and that's fun. The kids really like live drama. If you don't, that's where it goes back to that DVD that you were talking about, the drama DVD. But that really is fun to do a live drama.
And that's what I want to emphasize is we
So
have
these are the skits.
we have a digital aspect to this. You get free digital with your starter kit, but you can upgrade to a digital plus. But I really urge people upgrade to the digital pro. Then you get everything.
So with our digital package, like you mentioned, you are able to register children. You can register your volunteers. You can set up your own personal web page where people can go directly to that page. So you can give them a URL, and people can go directly to that page. And then you can also correspond with your volunteers. You can assign roles in there, and you can. All of these guides are available digitally, so you can share them. It's good to have the print, but if you need to get something to someone quickly, you can share it digitally with your teachers or with your coordinators, and they have it right at their fingertips. It's mobile friendly across all devices.
Now you can get the CDs for the music and DVDs for the videos, but these days a lot of people just stream them, right? And they prefer to do that, and we have them all digitally. So if you get the Digital Pro, you get all of that. And I want to emphasize again, you know, there are churches that have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of kids that will use our VBS, and there are churches that have 10 kids.
So my personal church has about 40 kids at it, and we use this VBS, and it works great with them. And it's also, we also try and use the digital portion of it to get people to register online, and that's worked really well. Even in we live in a very rural area. But
I've had churches, another local church I know of in this area that did our VBS last year, and they said they couldn't believe the digital help with the registration and other aspects. They said it just made it so much easier and better, and keep track of your volunteers. And then if you get the pro, like for a small church, as I said, you don't need your own praise team. You don't need your own drama team if you don't have that. I mean, some churches don't have people who can do that sort of thing. Then you can just use the videos. And if you get Digital Pro, you've got it all there.
Right. So,
and in fact, the digital library is got a ton of stuff when you get the Digital Pro. I mean, I couldn't believe how much stuff.
So you got all of your leader guides in there. You have all of the posters, all of the teaching posters, and you have all of the music. So you get the contemporary and the traditional versions.
So if you get Digital Pro, it's got everything.
It has most of everything, It's got a lot of stuff in there. So yeah, you got posters, your promotional items, lots of clip art and stuff like that.
Somebody said here, when I was involved with the Incredible Race, that was last year's
that was our last
VBS, dealing with the one race, one blood issue. He said, I got to use my sombrero that I got down in Mexico. It was so fun. I could imagine that.
So with that one, we were really celebrating the different cultures and making sure that our kids understand that no matter what our skin shade or where we're from, we're all part of the same family and all in need of the same Savior. Okay,
so Stacia, to wind this up, where do they go for information about our VBS?
So you can go to answersvbs.com. And right now,
answersvbs.com.
Answers VBS .com. And then right now we have a 15% off special. So the code for that, if you go there to order, is VBS. Or no, sorry, what is it? Yes, VBS FBMI. So that's the code for
VBS FB stands for?
Facebook.
Oh, of course. MI stands for?
Mystery Island.
There we are. VBS
15% off
FB,
through March 31st.
through March 31st.
On that.
What's 50% off anything?
15% off. It excludes anything that's already discounted.
Okay.
So you can't get 15% off plus a bulk discount. So if you, so it's 15% off anything that's not already, and it's VBS related.
And it's
so
VBS
anything
related.
VBS related.
So we have super starter kits in stock.
Yep.
I mean, VBS has been going actually really well.
Really well. Yep.
Last year's it was actually exceeded any year before. This year has already exceeded last year.
On track. Yep. On track to exceed last year.
So
So we're
make
praising
sure you
God
get
for
your
that.
orders in right
Need
now.
to order really quickly. So with that 15% off code, the VBS FBMI code, if you go to answersvbs.com.
And we pinned that in the comments.
Right.
So they can
that'll
see
be
that.
on there.
Well, Stacia, thanks for giving us a run through this.
You're welcome.
Absolutely phenomenal. I can't believe what our team does here. We have a talented staff, the artists, people who put all this together, even you.
Sometimes.
As a project manager.
I know,
Yeah.
sometimes. Yep.
So,
God is gracious.
no, we just really appreciate what you do and all that you've done and all the others that are involved in doing this. This is a quality, the VBS. It's phenomenal. It's unique in the world for its emphasis in regard to apologetics
Right.
and so on.
Right.
And so we encourage people to use it. This is so important today, helping kids to understand how to recognize the true God, the attributes of the true God, how to recognize false gods. Because in our culture, unfortunately, as I said, it's become an Acts 17 culture. Like
Right. And
this
even
poster here.
introducing kids. I mean, a lot of the kids that you get through VBS are not church kids. And so you have the opportunity to even introduce them to someone's name, to a God whose name they haven't even heard before.
And I think that's a really important point to finish off with here, and that is a lot of programs today in churches sort of assume kids have that foundation for Christian terminology, whereas we understand we're reaching a very secularized culture, and even kids in the church are very secularized.
Right.
And so you sort of got to start from the foundation up.
Right. Yep.
So there we are, Answers VBS, nothing else like it in the world.
Nope. One of a kind.
Thanks for joining us today.